We have to give our tip of the cap to the Pirates because the Pirates went out this weekend and, look, they're playing much better baseball since Don Kelly became the manager.
Yes.
Let's just give credit where credit is due. They took the Mets apart 30-4 in sweeping the weekend. Naturally, the stories are not about the Pirates belting the Mets 30-4. All the stories are about what's wrong with the Mets. Maybe the Pirates are playing well. This is one of the biggest problems I have. I don't understand in my lifetime why it has become this way. If this were the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, I could understand the massive concentration on New York, and now, of course, at this point, branching out to Los Angeles. I can understand that because those are the media centers, the hubs. But now we have media all over the place and coverage of everything all over the place where, let's just say the Colorado Rockies were great. Well, we have a whole bunch of stories about them.
Yeah.
Right? How come we don't find out about the Arizona Diamondbacks until they beat the Phillies in the World Series? We're still a New York, Los Angeles-centric media hub. Lakers stories. Lakers. Well, guess what? They lost in the first round, right?
Yeah, they lost in 5.
Yeah. We covered months and months of that for a team that lost in the first round? Really? We could have done the same thing with Orlando. What's the difference between Orlando and the Lakers? Okay, nothing. So, the Mets, New York, Soto, Alonso, right, Lindor, they'll be playing, by the way, at Williamsport this year. They're the Williamsport game with Seattle. Okay, talked to Tim Kirchin about Cal Raleigh the other day. I said he's probably the best player in the field. All right, and so the stories are all about what's wrong with New York. How about what's right with Pittsburgh? What's right with Pittsburgh? First of all, the starting pitching for the Pirates has been, I'd say for the most part, I'd say 80% of the time. How about 80% of the time? I think the starting pitching for the Pirates has been really good.
It's pretty good.
Right? Their bullpen, it's the middle part. Every once in a while, they kind of follow up with the closing. And the big issue with them is they haven't been able to produce a lot of offense. Well, in a weekend, we averaged 10 runs a game.
Yeah.
You produced enough offense. Right? It was very, very impressive. And they took them apart. The sad note, of course, was the loss of Dave Parker. 74 years old, awfully young, in my opinion. Considering I'm getting closer to 74, I would say that. Not in my 70s yet. All right? And two-time World Series champion with the Pirates in 79, the Reds in 90. And Gold Gloves, batting titles, everything.
The Cobra was his nickname.
Great player. And was a special player, especially with Pittsburgh. He did most of his great work with the Pirates. And it was sad because, he was put into the Hall of Fame.
And he's going to be inducted in a month.
Yeah, in a month. You're like, oh. In a lot of ways, it kind of feels like, except different time frame, but like Franco was 3 days away from the big honor at the Raiders-Steelers game on that Sunday night when he passed away on that Wednesday morning. It's like, would have been the 50th of the Immaculate Reception. Now here's Dave Parker about a month away from going into the Hall of Fame. It's like, that's sad. Very, very sad. But that's the big story is, you win 3 games 30-4. Nobody's giving the Pirates any credit. They should get all the credit. They're the ones that went out and scored the runs. They're the ones that went out and shut down the Mets. They're the ones that fielded well. But all the stories in a New York-centric world happen to be about the Mets.